You ever notice that after 50, the way you think about love starts to change? Not all at once, not in some big dramatic moment, just quietly over time. Things that used to feel important just don't hit the same anymore. I've been thinking a lot about that lately, and I didn't always see it that way. There was a time when love felt like something you had to chase or prove or hold on to tightly. There was pressure in it, expectations, sometimes even a little chaos. But now, as we get older, it just feels different. Not worse, just different. So I started paying attention to that. And I realized there are a few things that really stand out about love when we get into our 50s and beyond. And maybe you felt some of that too. One thing that really changes is how simple love becomes. Like when you're just sitting with someone. No big plans, no need to impress. You're not trying to be anything other than who you are. Maybe you're just watching TV. Maybe you're just sitting on the porch. There's no pressure to fill the silence. And you realize this is enough. There's a comfort in that, a kind of ease that didn't always exist before. Because when you're younger, love can feel like it has to be exciting all the time. But after a while, you start to understand something. It's not about excitement anymore, it's about comfort and honesty. That kind of peace is something you don't appreciate when you're younger. Another thing that changes is you stop feeling like you have to fix everything. Like when someone you care about is going through something, and instead of jumping in with advice or trying to solve it, you just sit there and listen. You're present, you let them talk, and you realize sometimes being there is enough. That's not something that most of us understood earlier in life. A lot of us spend years thinking love meant having to have all the answers or to make things better. But now we start to see that love isn't always about solving problems. Sometimes it's about just showing up and being there. And let's be honest, we spent a lot of years thinking we had all the answers. Turns out, just being there matters more. But there's something nobody really talks about. Love actually gets quieter as you get older. You start valuing peace over intensity. Like when you think about being around someone, and instead of asking, is this exciting? You start asking, does this feel easy? Does it feel calm? Does it feel steady? Because the older you get, the less energy you have for drama, for ups and downs, for emotional roller coasters. We've been through enough of that. What starts to matter more is how someone makes you feel when things are quiet. Because peace really isn't boring, it's rare. And once you experience that kind of connection, you realize how valuable it really is. Another thing, you get better at letting go. Like when something doesn't work out, or when a relationship ends or changes. You don't hold on to it in the same way. You don't fight it in the same way. You understand something now that maybe you didn't before. Not everything is meant to last forever. And that's okay. Because you start to see relationships for what they are, not just what you wanted them to be. And you can appreciate them without needing them to continue. That's a hard lesson that I've had to learn a few times myself. But it's also a freeing one because it allows you to move forward without carrying everything with you. I've been through relationships, love that worked, love that didn't. You probably understand some of that in your own way. We all get there differently. But I think a lot of us, especially at this stage of life, start to see love through a different lens. And you're definitely not alone in that. So, Maybe the rules have changed after 50 when it comes to love. Maybe it's about finally understanding what it was all along. Less about chasing, more about recognizing. Less about proving, more about accepting. And maybe that's where the real peace comes from. I'd be curious, what has love taught you over the years? Has your perspective changed? Drop in the comments. I'd really love to hear. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, and I appreciate you being here today. Till next time.